Talk Nation, salute, man. Welcome back, everybody, for another episode. Hey, today we're going to talk about the second presidential debate or second presidential debacle. Let's go. Hey, salute. What's going on, everybody? Hey, we just recently had the second presidential debate. This debate, Mike's was muted. Um, some say more of the same. The second was a little bit milder, but that's only due to, like I said, the mic situation. But still, you've seen people trying to chime in. Um, Shout out to the Liberator. She was a black woman, African American. Definitely like that change, but at the same time, these are not really, in my opinion, needed. Everything that's being said has already been said. It's just pretty much in an enclosed environment. Some of the same rhetoric both parties are talking about, they done said already. Truth of the matter is, people know who they are going to vote for. People know who they are not going to vote for. Now, the whole matter of fact, let's sum up the first debate as well as the second debate with one key point. Trump said one thing, and y'all lie to you guys. I'm not lying to y'all when I tell you this. Everything that I've ever heard Donald Trump say, everything from the get-go, including both debates. You know what I'm saying? The only relevant and true thing that he said was everyone needs to be successful in order for the country to thrive. Those are not his words, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, but those are his words verbatim. Now, I agree with that because if everyone is successful, it does level the playing field. Now, if the person who's working an $8 an hour job, a $9 an hour job, they're struggling to get by, especially now during the pandemic when a lot of businesses are closing, a lot of businesses have been pretty much euthanized, you know what I'm saying, because of the pandemic, because of the virus. You can't have, just think about restaurant workers, um, kitchen staff, chefs, cooks. Think about how it's affecting that market because you can't have pretty much 100% of occupants inside of these dining locations. And not every location you can go outside or you can dine. And even if you go outside and dine, you still have to be able to socially distance. And a lot of storefronts don't have the area to do that. So a lot of stores and a lot of businesses are being affected by that. You know what I mean? And with with one stimulus check out the way and a lot of people, millions of people waiting on the second one, unemployment drying up. It's tough, man. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are going through a lot of things, a lot of frustration, a lot of anguish, and that's what's fueling, a lot of things in our environment. You know what I'm saying? You're already dealing with social unrest and a whole bunch of other things, including a pandemic. Now, when people's bottom line is starting to be affected, you know what I'm saying? Your life is affected. You know what I'm saying? You struggle paying rent, you can't pay bills, you can't eat the same, you can't feed your family, let alone yourself the same. You know what I mean? So that's going to have an effect on you mentally and also physically. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going through physical changes because of this situation. And the stress on top of that is just multiplying everything to a limit that people are at their breaking point. You know what I mean? So that is why I don't necessarily agree with these debates because you don't need debates. You know what I mean? You need solutions. You need answers. You need to have somebody to step up and say, this is what we're going to do to help and execute. Stop talking about what you're going to do to help the people and help the people. You know what I mean? And the reason why, to a degree, Joe Biden is exempt of that because he's not the sitting president. Now, the sitting president has failed in that department. You're more enthralled about trying to get reelected and running around campaigning and backbiting and negative advertisement, you know what I'm saying, to fuel your campaign, excuse me, opposed to not only listening to, but trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to help the people. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, you got a lot of people out, man, who need help, and the only people they can look to is quote unquote the government. You know what I mean? That's why I tell people, man, like, don't get caught up in the politics, because if you look at every past president, the whole quote unquote campaign race, everybody says this, everybody says that, but who really has helped the people? Some may say, you know what I'm saying, Barack. Some may say Clinton. Some may say Bush. You know what I mean? But as a person, as a citizen, you look at when these people were in office, how was the state of your life? How was your life positively governed by the sitting president at that time period? Now, when I do that, and when I've done that, like I said, the two presidents that I mentioned, and I've actually voted for them, was Clinton and Obama. Now, you hear people talk about Obama, he didn't do anything for African Americans. To be honest with you, I can't sit up here and say that I agree with that. You know what I mean? Because I know once he was in office, I know the country was in a better place. And the only thing that people, as far as Republicans and Donald Trump, can bring up and talk about negatively is Obamacare. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing that you can bring up and talk about as far as negative light on that man's presidency. You know what I mean? But then you'll hear him say, if his quote unquote bill, as far as, you know what I'm saying, healthcare reform doesn't go through, he's going to keep Obamacare, but he's basically going to like restructure it or have it ran a different way that is more efficient and more effective. That's what he says. You know what I'm saying? And salute to Canada, because to be honest with you, how can they have, you know what I'm saying, free healthcare for all? And then in the United States, you have all these issues surrounding healthcare. Why can't we adopt those same principles? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot. If you look at the world and you look at other countries, you know what I mean? It's a lot that other countries do that the United States should have been doing. You know what I'm saying? And England and the UK, officers, like, they don't generally walk around with firearms. You know what I'm saying? To police the public. In certain situations, you know what I mean? When it is called for that, then that call goes in, and then people, as they say, pick up arms. But generally, they do not walk around armed as far as firearms. You know what I'm saying? Now, why can't they do that? Especially in the U.S. when you have all these cops, you know what I'm saying, killing people unjustly. You know what I'm saying? That proves the point right there that they shouldn't be walking around strapped, because you don't know how to use your weapon. Not only, I'm not going to say efficiently, that's the wrong choice of words, but I'm going to say appropriately. You know what I mean? I listened to this old cop one time on Facebook, and he said he was on the force for 35, 40 years, and he never drew his gun. Never drew his gun. Now, that's a good cop. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody who goes upon a situation, and instead of trying to pull your piece, you know what I'm saying, you try to pull peace, you know what I'm saying, from that situation. You try to put peace into that situation instead of, you know what I'm saying, being divisive, you know what I mean, and just, you know what I mean, trying to, you know what I mean, further, you know what I'm saying, make a situation worse. Because anytime you draw your gun in a situation, that is exactly what you're doing to a degree, especially if it's uncalled for. But a lot of these people, man, were scary before they became cops, and they definitely terrified after. You know what I'm saying? Because now they know, okay, they strapped, so the person they come against, chances are they may be. And if they are, they feel empowered, you know what I'm saying, to take care of them before the threat can take care of them. But that's not how you do your job. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to pull your gun or let alone use that um, firearm. God forgive me, I almost said something else. Until or unless your life is in extreme danger. You know what I'm saying? You have no other choice. And there's too many times where it's just the opposite. You know what I'm saying? They pull their piece instead of, you know what I'm saying, trying to promote peace. And that's a coward. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said a long time ago, rest in peace to Nip. I think it was Nip, uh, uh, if I'm not mistaken. But what was said was the amount of training for a police officer is the same amount of training somebody takes to be like a beautician or something like that. And that's, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, how simple, but yet at the same time relevant that statement is, it should make your mind boggle. Because you are giving somebody basically 007 authority. You're giving somebody a license to kill, but at the same time, in order for you to go through your training and everything, I mean, that takes a matter of months instead of a matter of years. You know what I mean? And truth of the matter is, it should take a lot longer. You know what I mean? Because I mean, they need to dig in the books as far as psych evaluations, because a lot of these people mentally are, like I said, mentally they're already damaged. Something has happened that makes them want to be, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, the law, so they can pretty much take revenge. You know what I mean? We've had this little saying back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these people, they were bullied, they were punked in school, picked on in the neighborhood or whatever. So now they feel as though by doing that, by putting on a badge, you know what I'm saying, they feel empowered. You know what I'm saying? Now they are the authority figure. You know what I'm saying? Now they can become not only the bully, but an official bully. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have a network of people, you know what I mean, who wear that same uniform just like you, who's going to support you, right or wrong. And that's the problem as well, because it's too often they're wrong and people are supporting them and standing up for them, and they wrong. So now that's making a whole collective look bad. And then you wonder why people don't like authority, especially authority figures. That's because what you stand for and what you stand by is not only unjust, but it's corrupt. And me personally, I will never stand by or endorse a corrupt system, let alone a person or people. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather stand on my own. I've always been stronger that way. Some people think it's strength in numbers. No. You take one person that has the heart and the strength to stand amongst many, and that's the person I put my money on. Because if they may fall in the end, but trust me, they will take a whole lot of people with them. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that kind of strength, because sometimes you have to stand on your own, because the collective is sometimes the problem. And if that is the problem, you have to be smart enough and strong enough to be willing to stand on your own. You know what I'm saying? And stand on what you say, because everybody might not believe or support what you say. So if that is the case, you got to do what you got to do. So these debates, man, they really are not accomplishing anything, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the rhetoric that they talk about, man, they've said already, is just a cat and mouse game. You know what I'm saying? And that needs to be abolished from politics. It really does, because it's not only hurting the game, but it's hurting the people. And me personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you ask for my vote when you don't deserve it? It's just like on YouTube. They say, how can you make content and you want people to subscribe to it or like it, but you don't pull out quality content? You don't put out content that people are asking for. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing as far as politics. How can you ask for somebody's vote, but you are not willing, you know what I mean, to enrich their lives in some type of positive way by your seat in office? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. But at the same time, if you understand the game of politics, you would understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's all a game. And if you choose to play, you have to play. You know what I mean? If you choose not to play, in my opinion, stand on the sideline, but be aware of the rules. Understand what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? You really have to understand what you're looking at. So that's why I tell people, man, like, you should vote. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you have to understand who you are voting for, because who you are voting for is going to have an impact on not only your life, but the world's the world's life, you know what I mean, for years to come. And a lot of people say, you know what, man, like it don't matter because like who you vote for, it ain't gonna change my life. And like my life is still the same. And to a degree, you know what, they are right. But it all depends on how you look at the situation, as I said. You know what I mean? Now people talk about the whole tax reform situation. That's why people don't want to vote for you know what I mean, Biden, because they talking about tax. Look, he was talking about raising taxes on people who make I guess the excess for $400,000 a year or more. Average people aren't doing that. You know what I mean? And if you are quote unquote a working person, you are a high level executive or somebody in that nature. You know what I mean? So if you can't afford to have a couple of more ducats taken out of your check, then something is wrong. Because you have people with 95% making 95% less than you, and they're going out here, you know what I mean, struggling, but they're getting by. You know what I mean? So how can you still be making all that bread and you tripping about somebody going up on your taxes? As they say, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And it just shows you, man, end of the day, that's what it comes down to, man. People who really got changed like that, that's all they care about. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to bring other people up on the same level as they are, because guess what? If you do that, then you lose control. You know what I'm saying? One of the best ways, you know what I'm saying, to maintain your control on somebody is to be financially ahead of them. That's if you choose to think like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have some people who are financially affluent, but at the same time, they don't carry themselves like that. They rather walk, you know what I'm saying, like like everybody else. And I've met and I've seen a lot of people like that, and I respect that. And that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? Because what you got in your bank account or your pocket is not only your business, you know what I'm saying, but it doesn't define you. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you got cash don't mean that you're a king. You know what I'm saying? Character, that's what makes you king. Respect, tolerance, patience, loyalty, strength, and strength of character. That's what makes you king. That's what makes you special. And then the right people understands and know these things. Because money, if you look at when Denzel did that dissertation, when he was speaking to the college class, when he said, I've never seen a funeral and you see a U-Haul behind it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, AKA, you can't take it with you. You know what I'm saying? So as money is needed, you have to understand the true value of it isn't within the money itself. The true value of your finances is in what you do with it. You know what I mean? As far as giving back, helping people, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, you can't take it with you. And as healthy as you think that you are, man, the drop of a hat, something can happen. It could change anything, AKA the Rona. You know what I'm saying? That can come into your life and then boom, now your whole life has changed. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is not making it out, you know what I'm saying, scot free. Some people are able to bounce back and some people are not. You know what I'm saying? And they still don't know why that is. So kind of went off topic a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like I said, the debates, or is it a debacle? I truthfully don't favor them because, like I said, a lot of the things they talk about and they said it already, man. You know what I mean? You've heard it already. So do you want to continually hear the same thing and you're really not hearing them talking about or expressing, true positive change amongst the people and within the world? That's what I want to hear. And if you're not talking about that, then there's no more talk. So with that said, man, peace, blessings to everybody, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, man. Like I said, we're new, rough around the edges, man. But we're trying. We're trying to do something positive for the people. And that's what it's all about. Do your part to make things better. Some people may get it, some people may not. But you have to stay diligent, you know what I'm saying, and what you're trying to do, especially in your message, especially if it's positive, because a lot of people, like I said, aren't in a good place. So positivity is something that they may not want to hear or let into their heart, but it's a lot of people, man, who are looking for it. So remember, do what you do for the positive people, man, for the people that are looking for truth and the people that are going through issues, man. Hopefully in time, you know what I'm saying, they'll come around and they'll let that anguish and that negativity out of their heart. So man, stay blessed, stay motivated, stay humble. And like I like to tell people, man, if you're looking for anything, if you're searching for anything, make sure that you guys search and find peace. End of the day, that's what it's about. Peace talk, man.